Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mooney.
And I'm Monica Garcia. New developments tonight in a shooting at the DeConcini Port of Entry, Nogales. U.S. Customs and Border Protection say no officers were hurt, but someone was shot and had to be rushed to the hospital.
News for Tucson's Japhet Serrato has been following this story. He's live in Nogales, and he spoke with people at the border and has more on what they had to say. Japhet.
Sean and Monica, the people I spoke with who crossed the border today say they were surprised to hear that a shooting happened. They say this port of entry here behind me rarely closes down. Tonight, the DeConcini Port of Entry here behind me is still closed to drivers trying to cross into Mexico, but partially open for drivers entering the U.S. U.S. Customs and Border Protection say the shooting involved an officer and forced the DeConcini Port of Entry to shut down Wednesday. Not only was it a headache for drivers, but for people crossing the border on foot too.
How terrible. Hopefully they open it pretty soon.
This woman lives in Nogales, Sonora. She walks across the border on a daily basis and says a closure like this is very uncommon.
I have never seen a shooting take place here.
CBP says the suspect in the shooting was flown to a Tucson hospital, but the officer involved was not hurt. The chaos that followed the shooting forced walkers and drivers to find another way in and out of Mexico. Most people we saw used this crossing during the closure. That included Green Valley residents David and Lori Peterson, who crossed the border to have dinner in Mexico.
It was a little longer walk, but it wasn't a big deal, but I was glad it was open to get into Mexico and get out of Mexico.
The closure also impacted businesses near the port of entry, like Sam's Perfume. Employees did not want to go on camera, but they say they had to close early since customers were not coming in.
Sad though, it's too bad.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the FBI, and Homeland Security are all involved in this investigation. Because of the shooting, drivers who are leaving the United States are being advised to use the Mariposa Port of Entry because it's unknown how long DeConcini Port of Entry southbound lanes will be closed here for. Live in Nogales, Japhet Serrato, News 4 Tucson.
And, of course, we will continue to follow this story. Make sure you download our News 4 Tucson app to get all the updates on this investigation right to your phone.
Well, a dangerous Venezuelan gang has